More and more Scrum teams realize the benefits of adopting Kanban to manage their work more effectively. And the benefits are countless. Adopting practices from both worlds is a very effective strategy, which provides many businesses with an unprecedented competitive advantage. Today, we will explore how your team can leverage Kanban analytics to streamline your Scrum events and improve the predictability of your workflow. Let's talk about the sprint planning meeting. The goal of the sprint planning meeting is to come up with an agreement on what will get done and how it will be achieved. And the first step to make an objective decision on how much work your team can handle during your sprint is to explore your capability. The most effective approach you can take is to look into your previous sprints and see how many items you have completed per sprint in the past 3 to 6 months. And the throughput histogram shows the number of items you completed in a certain period. To track the number of tasks delivered per sprint, we'll group our data by 2 weeks and we'll set the start date of the chart to match the start of a sprint. Looking into the example above, we can see that there was one sprint in which this team managed to deliver 5 items, 2 sprints in which they finished 10 items, 1 sprint with 12 items, another 2 sprints with 14 items, and so forth. You can now use this analysis in your next sprint planning to better understand your capacity. Let's analyze this example. This team can schedule at least 5 items. This is their absolute minimum. They guarantee that they will deliver at least 5 items, and that commitment comes with a 98% certainty that this will happen. Then there is an 85% chance that they will deliver at least 10 items and a 70% chance that they will finish more than 12 items. The chance that they will complete 14 items drops down to about 50%. And even though this team managed to finish 24 items in one of their previous sprints, it is unlikely that they will be able to deliver that much work consistently. The probability that comes with this commitment is less than 30%. If they commit to that number, it is very likely that some of the work will be rescheduled for the next iteration. Use this information as a guide to determine the amount of product backlog items necessary to achieve your sprint goal. And if your team commits to a number that comes with low confidence of that being achieved, put that commitment into question. The greatest benefit of performing analysis based on throughput is that it represents your actual capability to deliver. Now, moving on to the daily stand-up meeting. The purpose of the daily stand-up is to agree on a plan for the day so that you can frequently inspect and adapt. To keep your workflow stable and preserve the predictability of your delivery system, the most important aspect that you should focus on is to evaluate the age of the remaining items. The aging chart is the tool at your disposal that will help you track your WIP age. The aging chart has the same structure as your board, with columns representing the states in your workflow. The height of the dots depicts how much time each work item has already spent in progress. The higher the dot, the larger the chance of a delay. The colored zones draw the timeline of how your previous work items moved through your process. We recommend looking into the items that cross the yellow zone, as these items have already spent more time in your process than half of the tasks completed so far. During your daily stand-up, walk the aging chart from right to left, top to bottom. Keep your focus on the work items that are close to being completed and have spent the most time in the process. Let your team handle them first. That way, you will prevent your work from aging artificially, which in turn will improve the predictability of your system. Next, the sprint retrospective meeting. Now, during the sprint retrospective, our main goal is to look into the different aspects of the work and identify opportunities for improvement. Analyzing the cycle time scatter plot is of great help here. The chart visualizes all of your completed tasks as dots scattered on a plot. The horizontal axis is a timeline, while the vertical axis shows the time needed to complete the work. The cycle time scatter plot will help you identify the outliers in your process. The focus here should be on the items at the top of the chart, those with the longest cycle times. Pay special attention to the items with a cycle time longer than 14 days. These items have been moving from sprint to sprint. Analyze them and create an action plan to prevent this from happening again. Use Kanban analytics to streamline your Scrum events and make them more effective. Keep your current metrics and use those that we talked about to bring in more visibility into how work flows through your system. And it's a common misconception that Kanban and Scrum are mutually exclusive. On the contrary, Kanban and Scrum greatly complement each other. The reality is that you shouldn't choose between the two. Rather, you should discover which practices work best for your team and flex the system accordingly. And by flexing, I mean using Kanban and Scrum together in order to plan, track, and manage your work more effectively so that you can release better products faster.